Hey there folks, back at you with another video. Today we're going to be working on this John Deere 4020. It needs a couple things, but right now our main focus is going to be the steering valve. I'll put a link to the video on how to diagnose if the valve is bad or the steering motor is bad. I'll put that in the description so that way you can find it. That way you can determine if it's the motor or the valve. I determined it was the valve on this thing, so here we go. We're going to be taking this valve out of this John Deere 4020, and I'm going to take you guys along with me. I am not an expert John Deere mechanic or anything like that. I've been around farm tractors all my life, skid steers, diesel pickup trucks, semis, and I always done my own repairs on those. And these days we run a mechanic shop. And once in a while, I still work on John Deere tractors, or tractors, period. But good customer of mine here, I work on all their pickup trucks. And today we're going to be working on the John Deere 4020 here. This thing has several problems, but we'll take you along the ride on what we're doing on this tractor and get it all back in the tip-top shape. Today, folks, is going to be the steering valve. That thing needs to come out. It's leaking internally. And yeah, so here we go. Please like and subscribe, helps the channel out a lot and don't cost nothing. Let's get past the intro. Let's get into this. All right, first things first, you got to take the steering wheel off, and you got to take that side cover off right here, or that cover that goes around the dash. Right here, there's just a couple bolts all the way around. I mean, it's pretty simple. The steering wheel, that can be a little trickier because they can be pretty stuck. So here we go. First, you got to take the cap off. Just take like a screwdriver or something or another, a little pry tool. It'll pop right off, and then you got a locking ring there. Take that off. A nut. That was I had 29 mil because my SAE doesn't go this big, so 29 mil that I used on that. And then for the steering wheel itself, you gotta be careful. And this one here, I mean, it was already broke all the way around, but the plastic broke a little bit, so we're gonna glue that back together. But anyway, for the steering wheel, you need a steering wheel puller, and for that, this is what I used for that. So these long screws, or bolts I should say, these long bolts, they'll go in there. You got to clean them holes out a little bit, and then you put that in there, and then you can put the actual puller right onto the shaft. You'll pull the whole steering wheel off without breaking anything, or well, hopefully you shouldn't break anything. Anyway, so that got off pretty easy. Now we're going to take the dash off itself. So we got a bolt here and a bolt underneath. I got to figure out the wiring here, but I'll show you when I'm done. Oil looks like an oil pressure gauge here. We're going to have to undo up in there. That's this one right here. If you follow that, that's a cable or a hose. And on this, and on the other side, same deal, except for here there is a you can tell these boys use their tractor, huh? Except for here there is there's a ground here or something, so I'm gonna have to pop that loose and get that loose, and then we should be able to lift this thing off. So all right, I'm gonna get going on that. We'll bring it right back. Here we go. All right, we're getting ready to pull the dash out. There's a lot going on here. So first things first, line right here, that hooks up to right there is for your ether can or something like that. So disconnect that. This one here is out of commission, but anyway, then you got to do this right here, and then the hydraulic levers. I just mark them that way I don't have to worry about, because sometimes, you know, it can take a week or two before you get your parts all in, and then you're sitting there and it's like, where was what? So here we go, 1 and 2 for the hydraulics, and the 3-point. So that's right here. It's just one giant bolt, as you can tell. Pull that right out. I did all the unplugging right here of all the, you know, for the whole dash. And then let's see here. I'm still gonna have to work on this a little bit. I'm gonna need 2 hands for that. And then the temperature gauge for the engine, I just disconnected that because this one here looks like it's still original, and there's no way to disconnect it unless you go all the way down in there. And I just figure, well, I just undo the bracket and pop the gauge out, and there you go. So all right, I'm going to take the dash off. I need 2 hands. I'll be right back. All right, well, that only took a second. So like I said, here's the coolant temperature gauge. So I just popped that out, took the sleeve and everything else with it for the throttle. So yeah, let me look around a little bit here and see what we have to pull off next in order to get this to come out. So here we go. All right, I'm working on the hydraulic lines. So you can see them. So you got some there. This is that line that goes on top of that union there. I just had to twist that out of the way a little bit. And then there's one down below there, and then another one like right there. Then there is one here on the top right there, this one right here, and then there is 2 right here. That one, I popped it, I broke it loose right there and basically just swung it out of the way because it sits right here in the front, so that way it don't be in my way. And then there's another one down there, and if you look at the end of this wrench, there's a clamp there to hold that hydraulic line in, so don't forget about that. So I think that's the last item, and then we can start pulling the bolts out, and it should come out. So here we go, let's get busy. All right, well, we got this heavy bastard jiggled out. There's 4 bolts that go right here, all right there, and so they're mounted right there and right there. And then on the other side, you got to shift that shifter around a little bit. So you got one right there, so you got to move this line out of the way. You got to take it completely off, and then it sits right there behind that line right there. And then there is one, you see that hole right there? That's where the other one sits. And like I said, you got to move the shifter around a little bit, and then you can get to it. Couple other things. You gotta pop this loose right here that sits here bolted down, and I had to take this big nut off because it was fighting me too much. So yeah, that's how you take the steering valve out. So now we're going to get it exchanged out. We're going to get another one, and then I'm going to put it back together. Oh, before I forget, this hydraulic fitting I had to take off because it was too wide, and it sits right there. So there you have it, folks. That's how you take it out. And like I said, reverse process on putting it back in. So please like and subscribe. It helps the channel out a lot. Don't cost nothing. And we're going to catch y'all on the next one. Peace out.